When I look in your eyes, I see love. I feel passion, I feel love. Make me crazy like he loves. Oh, why you fine girl? You fine boy. That's the say.
Yo, what's good, beautiful people? It's your boy Mano, aka palmwinepapi. Welcome back again to the channel, alright, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new here, definitely check out the rest of the content I have. I just recently put out Tenny's Wonderland album. So if you haven't seen the review yet, definitely go check it out. I know everyone has requested for this one, and I'm excited to get into it. I know it's 20 tracks that we're dealing with here. Peruzzi decided to, because we've been seeing clips upon clips of Peruzzi in the studio. Peruzzi has been busy. This guy has been inside the studio, man. Like, I'm sure that like, after this 29, he probably has like another at least 300 that is still like solid. I can make this kind of album. But he had to give us the most that he can. So the least he can, actually, 20. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the fact that he's going with the concept here. He's going with a two-sided album. We've seen that done before with like I think Dremo did it with Codename Volume 2, where he had the side A, side B. I think Brimo also did it with Yellow. Now Peruzzi has it with Rum and Boogie. And from my guess, Rum side is basically more chilled records, more romantic records compared to like a side of Boogie, which would be more bangers, like more actual club bangers that can get you dancing and get you lit. And I'm not mad at the concept. I'm just hoping that it actually comes up eventful. It makes for a good moment. Some of these tracks we've actually gotten the chance to hear. Southy Love has been out. Isolova has been out. Lagbaja has been out. Somebody Baby also recently just came out. So maybe like, yeah, I think that's it. I think Gunshot is a Gunshot song. I don't know why that feels like Gunshot has been out already. So maybe 4 to 5 songs have been out already per se. Now this video, unfortunately, is not going to be a reaction video. This is 20 tracks and way too many songs to chop down and edit for one video. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to like pretty much talk about all the records in some capacity. Some of them I might brush over because we've heard it before. But let me know in the comment section which reaction video you'd like to see as a standalone video. Let me know what songs you guys would love to see a full reaction to. I already have Somebody Baby, which was out already, so that was because of the video too. So yeah, without any further ado, guys, let's get right into it. We have the first track.
Let us enter his gates with thanksgiving,
Okay.
and his court with praise, for the Lord is good.
Hey, yo, what a fucking experience, man. What an album. I feel like this entire time I was listening to the album, I don't bump Pekin. The Pekin don't finish university by now. The album took its time to finish, but man, was it an eventful album experience all around, man. This particular album, I won't lie, probably one of the best I've listened to. The thing is about this album is it's so loaded. 20 tracks is a lot on paper, and it doesn't feel like it's fitting the rule book of today's music consumption. Not many people, I'm sure if you ask anybody that listens to Peruzzi album, they probably didn't make it to maybe say track 10, 11. After that first side, probably they moved on, or maybe they just went on to the songs and selected randomly, and they didn't really care about the sequencing. Because I'll give a lot of credit. What actually made this album even more eventful was the sequencing, and the fact that it had a theme for side A and side B, and the fact that the transition from side A to side B was made seamlessly. Like that's how good the sequencing was on this album, because it wasn't an album that was focusing too much on narratives, but on the vibe. It was focusing on the production of each record and the runs that Peruzzi was coming with. And man, I loved it. I loved the entire experience of this album. Just off the intro, we're hearing a song like Juba, which is very gospel like. He's coming here thanking God, opening the album with a gospel experience. And then we enter a song like Telepot, experimental vibes, man. So experimental. That Rum album, that Rum side had so many beats that you shouldn't expect anybody to like, even in the Nigerian context, should body to the level that Peruzzi did. He brought himself. He definitely made himself uncomfortable on this album and still was able to nail it because it was such a risk. It was such a risk, and I love risk takers, man. If you know anything about me, I love risk takers. I love people that make things that are not supposed to work. Song like Teleports too. It was one of those examples that I'm like, bro, this song has no business being this good. It's fusing so many styles into one. We're seeing that tropical feel, that tropical vibe mixed with Nigerian take on dancehall. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just like too many things blended there, and Peruzzi somehow made it work with his catchy hooks, very infectious melodies all throughout the album. You can see the production show up in different parts of the album as well. Every song had its moment, every song had its statement to be making. But even to the transition of the two sides, you can see that happen with Lagbaja and Kalakuta. Those songs had the same sentiment, the same energy, the same tone. It's crazy because you're thinking side A, side B would be vastly different. But he towards the end of side A was making it sound like side B already. So as to when we get to side B, it feels natural and how the journey came through. And it was very intentional how he did that. And you can tell that he did that very well done. With Matrimony with Tiwa Savage, the energy started building up, then to Lagbaja and then Kalakuta, and then it was just a monster from there. From there on, we got Baddest with Don Jazzy and Phyno, which is a monster record. It's crazy how good this one is because it's tapping into that Eastern high life, very high energy. Phyno is the right person for the song. On paper, it already looks like a good album, seeing the star-studded acts like Wande Coal, like Don Jazzy, like Phyno, like Patoranking, like Fireboy, like Tiwa Savage. Like, come on paper it looks good. And then rolling down to the content, I feel like everyone was in their comfort zone. He created atmospheres for these artists to work. It not like he was just randomly putting people and making them uncomfortable. Basically, set them up for their best versions of themselves, and everybody brought their A game, man. And it was crazy, and I give props to the creation of the features on this album. That gave the album even much more reason to afford this length, to be an hour long, to be 20 tracks deep. Peruzzi, his personality shining throughout this particular album. You can see it on tracks like Lagbaja and Kalakuta, where he's getting very confrontational, don't mess with me. He's very comedic on a song like Matrimony and Isolova, where he satirically makes very good points for loving somebody and for bashing the government and calling out hypocrites. Peruzzi also super intentional on every record. I can imagine him performing every record on this album on a show. We definitely would have. Bro, to perform all these records won't be easy because he's super like active. He's super aggressive and almost too intentional on each song here, that for him to do a live show, I can imagine how difficult performing this album would be live. Like, this would be crazy good numbers here. Just a few records that felt one. The song was a good idea for an experiment. Like I said, he takes a lot of risk, and there was one example of a risk that didn't work for me was Girlie. Girlie was that example that didn't work for me. Another song that didn't work for me was Change Your Style. I thought that was very dumbed down and not really. He didn't really dig deep and it wasn't the best version of himself. He wasn't really creative with the writing on this one, even though the delivery was up there to make the song good. The song just felt very shallow. It just felt surface level, and it was a poor attempt at making another song like Southy Love. So that's why I didn't really rate that one. Other than that, man, every other record, Wande Coal is available. Insane moment on this album, man. I love this album so much, man. It's actually, bro, if you take your time to go through every record, like chronologically, like going from start to finish, the sequencing is so intentional. Like, bro, everything is blending seamlessly to the next record. Man, it's hard to pick favorites here because I can't say I don't. It's hard to pick favorites because there's a lot of them. Right from Telepot to Sea Love to Somebody Baby has even gone further. To Baddest. Are you mad, bro? This album is too good. This album is way too good. It's way too good for a 20-track album in today's age. Way too good for a 20-track album. Production is out of this world. Peruzzi's delivery on this record, man, crazy. The experiments, crazy. From dancehall to Afro soul to Afro pop, man, like, bro. Peruzzi for me has always been consistent with albums. I've said it before. I've said it in Clubhouse, and like people had this narrative, this false narrative of Peruzzi when it comes to albums. They think he's repetitive and he gives you the same thing, same time every time. But I'm like, you guys are only listening to the portions that get the most push, get the most attention. That's why I even think part of why that narrative of Peruzzi sounds the same is the fact that those are the records that get pushed, especially those ones that he's on the feature with Davido on. Those are the kind of songs, those are the kind of sounds, those formulaic Spiroche beats on that pong sound. That's what has been getting pushed. But if you go to the crux and if you go down to the detail of his album, listen to a song like Nana and you're telling me Peruzzi is sounding the same. Listen to a song like Moriello, like you're telling me Peruzzi sounds the same. Like he has the range, but it just doesn't push that range part of it. And I'm glad that he made it very intentional to show his range on this particular album. So that narrative can be thrown out the window now after this album. Let's get that narrative that Peruzzi sounds the same. Like it's clear that this man has enough to keep my attention for 20 tracks. Bro, 20 tracks. He has no business. He has no business to keep my attention, man. No business to be this engaging. Bro, like this is unheard of, bro. The fact that he took the risk of making 20 records in today's era where our attention span is like fly. Like where people are already moving on. You know what I mean? From different records. And I'm hearing people that have told me that this is their best album. And I'm hearing the album now and I'm, bro, like, okay, I can see why. I can definitely see why. It's a very eventful, very punching. This was a whole experience that I would love to go through again. Like it was very good. It was a very, very good album, very strong album. Now for my final rating, just of my first listen. This is just on my first listen. This album has already convinced me, man. This is a 9.3 for me. This is definitely my strongest album so far. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new here, definitely subscribe and check out the rest of the content here. Like I said, this video would have just a few glimpses of my reaction here and there. But if you want to see a full detailed reaction for a standalone video, definitely leave in the comment section. Check out my playlist in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.